everybody. Welcome to the Cape Cod Community Media Center. My name is Sarah Colvin. I'm the news director here. I've been involved with the Cape Cod Community Media Center for 6 or 7 years. I was on the board of directors for 5 years and then decided that this would be a wonderful place to work. So I joined the staff in late 2016. I produce a weekly television news show called Cape Media News. If you want to watch, it's on 5:30 pretty much every day, but new episodes every Friday. You can follow us on Cape Media News on Facebook as well. Welcome to the Media Center. For those of you who have never been here before, we are the public access center for the towns of Barnstable, Yarmouth, Dennis, Harwich, and Chatham. And what that means is we really serve as a multimedia facility where we can train you to use all of the equipment that you see here. You can produce your own television show. You can learn how to use the equipment, take it out into the field, edit, video, all of that stuff, all for a very low price if you are a resident of one of our 5 member towns. And one of those members is Todd Kapp, who is the producer of Paranormal Occurrences. We are so excited to have this show and to premiere it for you tonight. Todd really is a glowing example of what you can do with a membership to the Cape Cod Community Media Center. So where are you, Todd? Come on up. Big round of applause. Here you go.
Oh, it's now mine?
It's now yours.
All right. How's everyone doing? Good? Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It took a while to do this show. It actually did. So we've got a bunch of investigators here. Kind of hard to see with the lights. What do we have out there? We've got Cindy and Carrie, Shayna. Kev is back there. Where's Fred? Is he here yet?
3 minutes out.
Okay, so Fred's 3 minutes out. And then Dave, who actually helped us produce this, was actually the vision behind this thing as well, is actually in the studio, in the control room, at the helm of this thing. So what we have here is we've got a show that we decided to put together. We're looking at doing a season, and this happens to be our pilot, and I'm hoping that you all like it. So after this, we're going to do a Q&A session with the 6 of us. Dave will be in the control room. And so if you want to save some questions, if you want to come up with questions and ask us at the end, we definitely like to be part of that. So hope you enjoy the show. T&K was founded by Todd Kapp and Carrie Martin with one mission in mind: to find the who and the why for our clients. Our team now consists of 7 investigators from a diverse pool of professions, and we all bring a different skill set to the team. This show is all about documenting our experiences at these extremely haunted locations. This location was formerly an active police department that had a number of cells in the basement. We have been investigating this location since August of 2017. We're going to go in there during and after. Some of the things we have experienced here are disembodied voices, unexplained noises of what sounds like the jail cell doors opening and closing, and objects moving. Hold on, stop.
Hey! What the f*** was that?
Our team uses a state-of-the-art 4K surveillance system. We begin this episode with Kevin and Dave attempting to capture EVPs and possibly make contact with one of the spirits.
Come on, don't be shy. Tap on something twice. Let us know you're here with us.
Here, the sound is replayed several times.
I don't want to contaminate the downstairs with footsteps.
Can I sit in the office?
Yeah, they can hear you clear as day down there.
Next, we head downstairs to try to make contact using the spirit box. A spirit box is a device that we use that cycles through the FM frequency range. The theory is that spirits then use the various frequencies to answer our questions.
The way we use the spirit box is different from others. The person on the spirit box cannot hear the questions that we ask.
200, 250. See if we can get 300.
All right. Shayna is in cell 1, listening for answers on the spirit box, while Todd is asking questions. If you're in this cell, can you say something, please? If you want, you can talk through that little box that Shayna's got. Do you know who we are?
Have it.
Oh, habit. Why are you here? Habit. At least we got it recorded. What habit are you trying to tell us about? So, can you tell us your name? After we reviewed our audio, we found that a spirit named Brittany came through on the recorder, but not on the spirit box. While Todd and Shayna investigate cell 1, Kevin investigates other parts of the jail. Previously, an EVP of a little boy was recorded, telling Kevin to watch out.
Are you that little boy that communicated with me a few months back?
We believe this is a disembodied voice of a little boy warning us of another, more hostile entity. It was followed by another voice that sounds very upset with our presence. Another one of the client's claims is that the cell door had closed on its own while he was in the cell 1. Although that never happened to us, we did capture what sounds like the cell door closing. So he said he walked in, moving stuff around.
You can move stuff.
Things shut behind him.
I want you to really prove it to us. Really want you to move this door right here.
We learn later on that a man hung himself inside cell number 1. Here are some audio clips of what we believe is him trying to communicate with us.
Was my mind playing tricks on me, or was there someone next to me about 5 minutes ago?
At this point in the evening, we switched teams out in the basement, and this is what we caught.
If you want us to go back upstairs and leave you alone, do those 2 knocks like this.
Oh, no. Oh my God. Are you serious? Those are the perfect 2 knocks. Oh, no.
Next, we have Kevin on the spirit box with Shayna asking questions in another room.
Excluded.
Excluded.
Why are you?
Why are you?
Dead.
Dead.
Kevin receives the following message.
Brittany!
Brittany!
Brittany! Did someone just ask a question?
Can you tell us who's here and where does it shout it out?
That was clear as day. crazy.
All right, talk off the room. Now you've got Kevin all to yourself. What do you want to tell Kevin? Wayne. There's somebody in here with me?
All right.
That second note.
We are all in the room together. Todd, Kevin, Carrie, Fred, and Nancy. Is Gibson Beal in this room with us? Gibson Beal is someone we captured during a previous investigation on 2 different recording methods. One was on an audio recorder and the other through the spirit box.
How about that little boy that...
Something just touched the box back here. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That wasn't me. At this location, we have captured a number of voices on our recorders.
Is that little boy here that spoke to me a few months back? How many people are in this building right now? Did you pass away in this building or on this property?
Can you tell me what my name is?
What's that?
I heard that.
That was from back over there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the refrigerator.
Did you just make that noise back in the other room?
There's a knock. There's another
one.
Can you do it one more time?
Can you tell us any of our names? What keeps you here on this property, in this building specifically?
Well, remember the first time we were here and you two were in the basement? I was sitting over there dicking with the DVR. And I thought I heard 2 people, and you heard them.
I heard him when I was coming up the stairs.
Yeah, and I ran outside and I didn't see anybody or a car.
Well, you also said, "What are you saying?" And I said, "I didn't say anything. I was walking up the stairs."
Yeah.
And then I heard a woman's voice, clear as day.
Yeah.
And it was a long sentence.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in here while I was by myself, heard a full-blown minute-and-a-half long conversation, and he heard it today.
Yeah. Plus, we have it on
My
audio.
original recording. I don't think it was in English.
And Scott heard the same thing, the new manager here.
It was not in English, I don't think.
Yeah, he said it wasn't in English either. Here's another charge too. No, it wasn't a mathematics. Can't remember the name of it.
Kind of like two people talking.
Sounded like a language, just not English. I don't know what the fuck.
Are you from another country?
Are you Native American?
You got a hit on the Native American.
There was some traumatic Native American battles here.
Did you have an untimely death? A violent death?
Is your K2 going off?
No.
What keeps you here?
Were you around here when the town hall burned to the ground?
What year did you pass away?
How was that?
I heard that. Back there.
Yeah.
Is there somebody up in the attic? There's somebody in here with me?
The occurrence of items actually being manipulated is very rare, and we were lucky to have caught this activity on camera. Hold on, stop.
I saw something. Something came towards you, dude. It was like a shadow figure.
Holy shit! Okay, I don't get jumpy, but there was something that crashed right behind me.
And there was something that like came towards you.
Hold on, which camera?
We didn't have a camera there.
Holy, no, we did.
Something like,
Holy shit, dude.
like, something fell over and I saw like a shadow come at you.
Something just,
Something.
yeah,
Did you
it was
go in
behind me,
there?
I know that.
Yeah, it was like,
We went in there,
dude,
but we
it like
didn't
took
go
up
in
this whole area. Like I couldn't see that rigging. We got it though, right?
This is no joke. We got something. Dude, look at that thing fell. See? What is that? Hold on a sec. I'm actually a little bit freaked out about
I
this.
know. Do you want me to pick it up and see if this was it?
So this thing just fell.
That was it, wasn't it?
That was it.
Yeah.
I didn't come in here. I was standing
Me and Nancy
outside.
didn't go anywhere near this. We like, I wasn't even near.
You sure you didn't hit that with your foot? Did you come in here at all?
I don't think so. I don't think we came in here at all. Let me ask, because I didn't want to dick with the door.
Jesus Christ!
But
I haven't jumped like that in a long
Let's
time.
go look at the tape. Can we rewind on that?
Yeah. That was like right behind me. You saw something behind me?
Dude, I don't know. Like, you had your flashlight out, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it went dark. I just didn't see anything, so I don't know if it was my eyes adjusting.
All right. Well, we can't leave yet. We need to talk to whoever this is. If there's someone down here, can you talk to us, please?
Yeah,
I'm going to turn my light off. I'm going to just go dark on this thing. And let's just film this and see if we can get it on film. If you're here, can you do that again, please? It just completely fell down, and then Carrie saw something behind me, like rush me.
That pole.
Yeah.
Okay, because it almost looks like it's moving, but it's probably just.
Because I wanted to see where I was going, and all of a sudden it come crashing down. So I was like, what the f***? And I turned around.
And all of a sudden it was just black.
Let's have another round of applause for T&K. That was amazing. Nice job. That was actually the first time that I've seen this project. They've been haunting the media center for several months, making this project, and it is unbelievable. So Q&A time, guys, come on up. I'm sure many of you audience members have questions. I know I do. And thank you guys again for coming out tonight, and thank you to our viewers at home and on the web for watching. And again, just another example of what you can do here at the Cape Cod Community Media Center. It really is amazing. So, anybody have questions? Matt.
How many locations have y'all been to, and roughly how many times do you get out throughout the year?
So just for the audience at home, Matt is asking how many locations have you been to and how often do you get out during the year?
So we've had, over the last few years, we've probably been in about 4 or 5, but they're ongoing cases, so they really keep us busy. So we're usually out 2 to 3 times a month. It's not as frequent, it all depends on our schedules too. We actually work real jobs. This doesn't pay the bills. We're a self-funded team, so. But yeah, we try to keep as busy as we can.
Todd, do you want to have everybody introduce themselves and talk a little bit about how they became members of T&K Paranormal?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kevin, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm Kevin. I actually got involved. Todd and I worked together down in Mid-Cape, and just getting to know each other, we found we had a mutual interest in the paranormal. So when he wanted to start up another team, and he asked me to be on board, and I said, absolutely, I'm in. And here we go, 4 years later, whatever that was when we met.
Yep.
That's how I got involved.
Hi, Fred De Oliveira. I know Todd through Shayna, and that's how I got on board, through our mutual knowledge of Todd.
Mutual knowledge. I'm Shayna De Oliveira. I also had the fortunate occurrence to work with Todd going back, 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
We worked together for 5 or 6 years. And during that time, he haunted me to go on one of these things with him, and I kept saying, nah. And he called me up one day, he's like, look, I need an extra person, you want to come? I came, did an investigation, and I've been hooked ever since.
Great.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and
Feedback.
whoa,
Ghost. Was that paranormal? Do we have ghosts here?
Get that EVP. And I met Carrie through work, and Carrie and Todd through another paranormal team that we were a part of, which was about, 10 years ago?
About, just under that,
yeah. So that team dispersed, and a few years later, they got together, Todd and Carrie, to form another team, and called me up, and I was right there, so that's it.
I'm Carrie Martin. I'm the co-founder of T&K Paranormal. How this really all came about, me and Todd were just joking around one day on the phone. I'm like, we should start up another team. And that was in 2016.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything for a year. Calls me up out of the blue. He's like, I got a case. And we've been going ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm Todd Kepp. I'm the founder and lead investigator of T&K Paranormal. And as you can hear, I've known most of these people for the last at least decade. Worked with a lot of them. And the reason we really formed this team was to find out, first of all, we want to answer 2 questions for people that do have paranormal activity in their place, and that's the who and the why. Who's in there and why are they there? And those are the 2 things that we really try to get answered. And typically when we get a call from someone, it's there's a bit of tension built in there, and some of these things can be pretty hostile and some aren't. Some it's just I keep seeing things, or my dog's barking at the corner. There's other cases, we've got one that's in the works now of a woman that ended up in the ICU from something that strangled her. It's a little more serious. So those ones take a lot of time to figure out who's there and why they're there, and it could lead to other things that might need to be done to clear that house. We don't do the clearing of the house. We don't clear spirits. Like I said, the only purpose for us is to answer the who and the why. There are other teams that are dedicated to clearing houses and cleaning spirits and getting them to move on, but that's not our specialty. So, and that's it's pretty much our existence. So.
And what I'm learning is when Todd shows up somewhere, he's really good at getting people to help him with his projects, as we found here at the Media Center. Any other questions from the audience up front?
So what did you find out about Brittany? Was she associated with Gibson Beale at all? Was that a connection?
We haven't made that connection yet. What we have in this location that you just saw was we have 5 known entities. We have a Gibson Beale who is a Civil War vet. We have this Brittany person. We have a woman named Vi Brown. We have a Mickey who apparently hung himself in there, and we have a 9-year-old boy named Herbert Whitaker who was killed down the road back in 2009. And those are 5 things that we've actually verified, not just through our findings, but also through a local police officer that works there. So it was pretty interesting, and they're all verified with our evidence that we've caught so far.
Hi, this is wonderful. I am just in terms of the why. How do you have a? I'm trying to say, like, do you have a feeling as to why, or do they?
So the question is the why. Do you have a feeling as to what is the why? How do you find? How do you find out why they're there?
That's the toughest part.
Yeah, that's what I.
So the easier part of the equation is to figure out who it is. The harder part is to find out why, and that's just it's persistence. And there's nobody on this team that would ever give up on a case, and that's what we do. We just keep going and we keep digging. And both Carrie and Cindy are fantastic. They're fantastic historians, so they can find out a lot of stuff online, at libraries, through other sources that the rest of us are kind of like, really, wow, we didn't think of that. But the why they're there is difficult to figure out. What we found out in this location, why a couple of the spirits are there, is because they're tied to the property somehow. And it could either be they were biking down the street every day and they got stuck there, they've got attracted to that area for some reason. One of them hung himself in the jail cell, which we figured he's there because of that. And the other ones are tied to the property. The property was once a much bigger property. So the reason they're there is a much more difficult answer to come up with, but it just takes time and persistence.
Great. There was another question? Kate.
Can you explain EVPs?
Asking for an explanation of EVPs.
Somebody else want to answer, or you want me to do it all?
You're great.
It's all you, Todd.
This is what we do.
It's all me. All right.
You want me to do it?
Go for it. You'd run with it, Carrie.
So EVPs are electronic voice phenomenons. We use a digital voice recorder, and we're able to actually record things we can't hear with our own ears. And when we go back to listen to them, that's how we got most of those answers, was through our EVPs and digital voice recordings that we couldn't pick up with the naked ear. But in the episode I did mention, I heard 2 ladies talking outside the conference room, and that was something I didn't hear on the digital voice recorder.
Yeah.
I heard with my own ears, and I literally got up, went, looked outside. Nobody was there, no cars in sight, nobody was around, and Todd actually heard it too, and that's just a strange thing, being an investigator, actually hear something with your own ears and not through like a digital voice recorder.
Yeah, there was some of the EVPs in there. So when you heard the little boy say, "Watch out," Kevin heard something, but he didn't hear that, and he responded to it. It's kind of the whole picture there. It's really fascinating because what happened was Kevin was downstairs alone. Now that was one of the first times we were there. It was actually Kevin and Carrie and I were the only 3 there. So it was 3 guys, and we got a child's voice saying, "Watch out," and you hear Kevin go, "Oh, I'm not afraid." But he thought we were talking to him upstairs because Carrie and I were upstairs and he was downstairs. So he thought we were saying something, but he didn't hear that. He heard something else. And then as soon as he rounded the corner, there was the other one that said, "Don't do it," as he was setting up a camera. So, and it was 2 very distinct voices that were completely different. One was younger sounding and the other was older and male. So it was pretty interesting.
Just tell them how we got Gibson Beale too.
Gibson Beale was interesting, yeah. Go ahead.
So Gibson Beale, on that recorder, we got 2 separately, Gibson, and separately another time we got Beale. And what was it?
We thought it was 2 families.
Yeah, we thought it was separate. Names. Just they were totally separate. But we were just there's a Civil War monument on the property next door, across the little road. And I love Civil War history. I wanted to go check it out. And reading the names, there was Gibson Beale. I said, crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was one
I don't think I
person,
said
not two
that, but-
families. Yeah. We did everything to research the Gibson family and the Beale family
Right.
anywhere in the area, and we found some stuff, but it didn't make sense of why they were there. And that was actually when you went over and checked out the monument and found the name right there. So I mean, how
I
we
ran
came up
back
with
to
that?
them. I'm like, holy mac, you won't
Yeah,
believe
he
this.
was white as a ghost too, which
I
is
was
even
like,
funnier.
wow. They're
He
not
was
separate.
pretty-
It's one person.
Yeah, yeah.
It was amazing.
Which really speaks to the phenomenon. When you hear the name, you don't know what it is. It's right across the street. It would be one thing if you saw that Gibson Beale, then heard the EVP and said, oh, that must be what they're saying. You knew
Yep.
what they were saying before you even saw the name on the
Yeah,
monument.
we didn't know that. It was 6 months before we saw that monument.
Right.
And we got those names on the first and third or second, I think it was the first and third investigation there. So we were only 2 months in, so it took another 4 months to figure out it was one person.
Great. I saw Teddy in the front raising his hand.
Oh.
Teddy, do you have a question?
How many ghosts have you caught?
How many ghosts have you caught? Teddy wants to know.
How many ghosts have we caught? Technically none, but we've documented plenty.
Other questions?
Do you have cameras that can pick up, like, seeing vision, like seeing ectoplasm kinds of things?
The question is, do you have cameras that can pick
Yeah.
up ectoplasm or kind of things that you can't see with the naked eye?
Well, and that's why we have our surveillance system. So we've got, actually, we started with an older, we actually started with a kind of a, how do I put this politely in front of Teddy? A cheaper model of a surveillance system, and the quality wasn't that great. I mean, the cameras were, I think, 1 megapixel. And we had 8 cameras. We set them up all over the place on different angles on where we were told the activity was. And it was real grainy. It would always, it wasn't a very good system. So we ended up upgrading to a 4K system, which is actually, top of the line quality you can put. I mean, it's TV ready. And that we can see a lot more. However, if to see something that's like a black mist or a shadow person, I think is what you're trying to kind of describe, those are really rare and they're very difficult to capture. Carrie and I did see that in the basement, and that's when that pipe fell. Something ran by, but we didn't catch it on the cameras. So we saw something, and it's hard to say that, it's hard for people to believe you when you say, look, I saw this, and even though we had a camera there, it didn't capture it. It was like, why didn't it happen? We know what we saw. However, the pipe falling, that was a total anomaly. Anomaly. I can't say that word. Anomaly. So, and it was pretty creepy when that happened because everything was, it hadn't moved at all.
And it was pitch black down there.
It was pitch black. That's the other thing. All that stuff in there, it looks like it's light as day.
Yeah, no, it was dark. I couldn't even see Todd.
No.
And all of a sudden that fell down.
Yeah. And it was like right behind me when it happened. So.
And then that big shadowy figure emerged behind us,
Yeah.
coming towards us as we were trying to leave.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy.
That I think was Mickey. So.
You're calling this creepy, but you love it.
Oh, no, we do. But that kind of stuff is a little strange. I mean, the problem is I was holding the camera from here, which is not a cheap camera, and I'm looking through a little viewfinder, and it's night vision, so I can see in the dark with that. So I'm looking around, and it's pitch black everywhere else. So I've got a little, 3-inch screen or so. So when something happens behind you and you see something, and you're looking through a 3-inch screen, it's a little bit strange. It's hard to maneuver without damaging a camera too. You don't want to do that.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, so do I, because I want to use it.
Kate had a question.
So this property that you visited numerous times, what is it used for today?
I'd like to tell you, it's kind of confidential.
Oh, okay.
But I can tell you it's a municipal property. So.
And that's not on Cape Cod, right? That one was off Cape.
It's South Shore.
South Shore.
You said you focus on the who and the why. Are there any typical reasons why these spirits have such longevity, why they are there? Like, somebody's got to be finding out the whys, right?
Typical reasons for spirits.
Untimely deaths, horrible, tragic deaths. If they died right there on the property or near the property, like he was explaining, the little boy, we found out the little boy died a block away. And Gibson Beale's from Halifax, and those are old, prominent buildings. I mean, they've been around since 1700s. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless you got anything to add?
Sure. Question over here.
Two-parter. First, you said that you don't do the clearing after you've identified something.
Yeah.
So I want to know, for the lay people like us, what would be a normal, like, how you clear other than the sage thing that we've all seen. And two, do you guys use a medium or psychic within your group to, sort of figure out the whys and the who and the how, or have you done that yet?
So how do you clear, and do you use a psychic to help you out?
Who are we bringing in?
Right. Do you bring someone
Joe
in?
the clearer?
The Exorcist, of course.
No, but that would be cool if there was a Joe the Clearer. I would try to look him up and have lunch with him or something. So
that's the next show.
Yeah, clearing is kind of a specialty. You really have to know what you're doing. I know some of the team members here have done it in their own places, and they've. Carrie is a huge person. He's a huge sage fan. He loves the sage. He has sage spray and sage this and sage that, and I make fun of him because I don't do that. And I have stuff in our house, right, Teddy? Yeah, we have a couple of things, and I actually brought something home from this location to my house. And Karen, wherever you are, actually brought it up to me. So, as far as clearing goes, I think we all have our own kind of personal beliefs on that.
But you're not bringing priests, and you're not bringing.
No,
we don't. Our group doesn't have. Well, the movies are different. The movies are different. The movies. It would be great if it was like the movies. Our job would be easy. Because sitting in the dark for 8 hours at a time, talking to nothing, it gets a little boring, and we usually kind of break down and have our goofy moments too, which hopefully.
But I'm saying some of them are not happy. They're pissed.
Some of them are pissed. Yeah.
You're good with leaving.
Yeah.
Probably not enough.
Well, we have another case in Rhode Island that we're working on with Shayna. It was a friend of Shayna's, and I got attacked there twice. So once it felt like a hot poker or a flaming arrow went into my left buttock, into the bone. I know you can laugh if you want, but you guys all saw me. I had to go outside for an hour. It literally felt like my bone was on fire the first time, and there was nobody around me. Everybody was in the other room. I was sitting in there, what we call the hot seat. Literally the hot seat. Thanks, bro. But that was interesting. And then the second time we went there, I got punched in the ribs, and we clearly have that on video of me moving like this, and my ribs hurt for like 2 or 3 days afterwards. And once again, there was a wall here. There was nobody there, so there's no way anybody could have done anything, and everybody was on the other side of the structure. So we do get punched and attacked and poked and prodded and touched, and I mean it's just part of the job, and it doesn't freak me out. I've had a lot of different occurrences over my lifetime. I know a lot of people it does throw them the wrong way, and Fred actually had an experience there too, which is interesting. When he was over there alone, and actually he made me jump because he yelled. Once again, it's in the
Not alone at the property, alone in the hot seat.
Alone in the hot seat, and yeah, he had his own personal experience. Now Fred is our resident skeptic, and he's highly skeptical of any of this stuff, which is great. And when he had that experience, I'm kind of hoping it changed his mind a little and opened it up a little. But and the second part of your question was the what?
Do you bring in a psychic?
A psychic, yeah. Yeah. I've known one psychic in my lifetime that was for real, and I've met a lot of them. And so for me to bring someone in, it would take a lot of vetting, because I just don't.
It would be a huge process.
It would be a huge process. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have sensitives. Now, there's a big difference between a psychic and a sensitive. Cindy here is really fascinating. She is sensitive to certain things. And so when we take her into places, she'll get these feelings, and 9 times out of 10, it's right. So she's hitting on a few things, but I don't necessarily think you're psychic. I think you're just sensitive to different, changes in energy fields or the air or whatever it is. So, yeah, we don't have any psychics on the team, and if I did use one, like I said, it would take a lot of vetting.
I want to hear Fred's experience.
I do too. It was a good one.
I'm curious.
And I have a hard time explaining it too, but it was just, I was sitting in the hot seat, and I think it was between the time that he got poked and the time he got punched.
Yep.
There was a visit in between that. And I was sitting there listening to the spirit box that we use, and I was the only one in that area. Actually, Todd, was sitting across from me.
Yeah, I was filming.
So he was filming me, and the rest of the team was in another room asking questions. And essentially the way I described it was, I was listening, nothing was happening, and then it was almost like the feeling of like having your finger put into a socket, which I stupidly found out what that felt like in elementary school. But I mean, it was that type of feeling that it was just, and it was like through the headset that it was just, felt like something went almost through my head as that thing. And have I found a way to explain it? No. Do I know what it was? No. Am I still a skeptic? Yes.
So
maybe a little less so.
I wasn't in the vicinity when that happened to him. I actually saw it on the replay. And just to give a little backstory, I've known my husband for 15 years. I have never seen him react to anything. Literally anything. But he reacted to this.
Yeah, he did. That's fantastic. More questions.
It was like almost like panic.
Yeah, it was pure terror.
It was
and you
panic
could
on
see
his
it on the
face.
film. Yeah,
It was genuine. When we watched it over, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Something gave me
I have not
jolts.
seen the video, so I don't know what I look like.
It's awesome.
I purposely keep it from him. I don't want to freak him out anymore.
Can you talk a little bit about why you wanted to bring this to TV?
Yeah, it was interesting because originally we never really wanted to bring it to TV. It was just basically we were going to go out there and we were just going to do some investigations and see where it took us. And I think it was Kevin that said, "Why don't we talk to the media center?" And I said, "Okay, why don't we do that?" Because he had been here. I think your father worked here years ago.
I was a member.
You were a member
When
too?
It was over in White's Path. 10,
Yeah.
12 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, so we came over here, we met everybody, and I thought it looked really cool. And at the time, we started kind of tossing around the idea of, what if we did do something? And we didn't want to, we didn't want to be on national TV, but what's something local, and kind of get it back to ghost hunting in its basic form, which is a bunch of people sitting in the dark with a voice recorder and a camera, asking questions and hoping to get a response, which is basically what people wanted to see. And there has been some shows in the past that were like that, and then everything changed and it got all, dramatized with all this other stuff. So I think when we were discussing it, it's like, well, why don't we try it? Why don't we give it a shot and we'll see what happens? And this is what we came up with. And I think it's pretty good. I think we got a little tweaking here and there to do, but overall, I think it's interesting, and I think everybody's on board with continuing the process. And as we get more cases, people want it memorialized, And so I think we're going to just kind of stick with this and keep it going, and have more of these adventures. So, yeah.
Well, another reason is because we captured so much good evidence at this one place. It was unbelievable. So we were saying, we were talking, we were like, the stuff we got is better than anything they have on TV. So let's show the people on the Cape, and throw it on YouTube so people can see and actually see excellent evidence.
Yep.
This is nothing. This 30-minute show. We can do a 3-hour show just in this place alone. And we're gonna do more episodes and show you awesome footage and great EVPs. So yeah, this 30 minutes was not even enough. We have amazing stuff here. I'm still blown away by this one place.
Plus your audio equipment's way better.
Yeah, we do catch a lot on audio, which I think is interesting, and more so than on video, which it seems to be common in this industry because there's so much stuff that you catch with the voice recorders that you cannot hear with your ear. You go back and replay it and you're going, wow, that is amazing. Someone actually did answer my question, so there must be something there.
And that's, like Shana just said, what he was saying, the equipment here is so good, more advanced than our stuff, so we use that, and it helped out actually hearing some of these EVPs. So that's why when we were talking about it, I was like, wait a minute, the media center, they have all the best top-notch equipment, state-of-the-art. So another reason why we came here.
Thank you. Available to the public. So not just for ghost hunting, but for everybody's productions. Any other questions? Tom.
Are you doing anything with the sound graphs that you produce? Are you collecting them in a library? Are you comparing those with other sounds and graphs of sounds that people have?
I think that's eventually the plan. We are archiving the EVPs that we pull out, particularly for our clients. And obviously we have an original copy ourselves. And I think as we do more cases, I happen to be a data geek. I would like to be able to do exactly what you said and start seeing different patterns, if you can discern entity types, if you can, who knows, I mean, you could end up finding that there's a correlation between the way we present ourselves and how they react to us, and it'll be interesting to see that as we get more to compare, because right now we've got such a basic data set, so we just need more to be able to start doing that.
I mean, we identify bats with sound graphs.
Yeah.
We can't hear.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same idea, right? I think get a large enough database, you can start sorting out, like you said, different age groups, different characters.
There's a question over here.
I know you said you use KPP recorder. Do you use EMF?
Do you use EMF?
Yeah, we use K2 meters, mel meters, and other various instruments. However, those are finicky, because if you have a cell phone that's on, it's going to disturb it. So you really have to be careful and wise how you use those. But yeah, they can tell you some things, but they don't tell you everything.
There's a question back here.
I have a question specific to lighting the platform. Do you do all your investigations at night? Why? And do you do anything outdoors?
The question is, do you do all of your investigations at night, and do you investigate outdoors?
Primarily, and yes. So that's a quick answer. Typically, we do stuff at night because there's generally less noise, ambient noise out there. You have less cars on the roads, less traffic. I mean, it's a lot easier and you get a lot more stuff at night than you do during the day. We're not opposed to doing daytime investigations, but they are difficult, as we did have one during the day, and there was just so many people in the house, it was insane. We didn't get anything. As a matter of fact, it wasn't haunted anyway, but there was just too much ambient noise. As far as outdoor stuff, outdoors investigations, we haven't done any yet, but we're looking at a couple of the what?
Pawtucket just a little bit.
Pawtucket a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're looking to do a couple more, like a fort or two, coming up in the springtime. So those will be outdoors for the most part.
Looking to get busier?
Are you looking to get busier?
Are you busy now? Do you spend a lot of time doing this?
I wish I could do more. I think we all do. Working jobs during the day and investigating at night leads to kind of a day or two of sleeping after that. But we do have a pretty full caseload right now, but we're always looking to bring new cases on. I think in probably about the last 4 weeks, we picked up another 4 cases. So, I figure we hit them at least once a month. And most of our cases they're not a 1-2 type deal. We like to spend a lot of time to make sure we're able to answer the questions for our clients and make sure they're okay. So a lot of ours actually all of them are ongoing, with the exception of one that we've just closed out. So, yeah.
Is there any buildings that you want to get into a property that you just can't? Wow.
Oh, you just asked him to give you his Christmas list.
Question is, are there any buildings that he wants to get into? I think the answer is yes.
If the media center didn't close at 9, I could talk about that for the rest of the night, probably until tomorrow. There's a lot of places I would actually like to get into, a lot of big places. Eastern State Pen in Pennsylvania is extraordinarily haunted. I'd love to get in there. There's a couple reformatories. There's there's a lot of there's a lot, and there's a lot of those that I'd love to get into. It's just making the connections to get into there. Yeah, if you know anybody, let me know.
So what's the process?
So that it takes so long to get
it's daunting, especially if you're trying to get into a public building or a building that was used for business that may be closed down. It involves tracking down the property owner, talking with them, making them think you're not Coco Loco. Some of them are more willing to talk because they've had people in these places that have experienced stuff. But if they're a new owner and they've never had their own experience, it can be very trying. The one we have here happened to be easy enough because they all had some sort of experience that prompted it. I've been trying to track down a couple of places and getting a hold of people. It's tough. It really is.
Any other questions? Over here.
As an individual, what was the one moment that you had that you knew that there was something out there?
What was the one moment you had that you knew something was out there?
That's a great question. So I'll start. I've had a few. I'm 42. I've had experiences since I was about 8. But the one thing that really kind of made me jump into this a little bit more seriously was I grew up in Southern California, and in San Juan Capistrano we had this really old cemetery, and it was back in high school, and there was about 7 of us that decided to go in here and go experience it. We had heard the stories, when high school kids talk, it's like, oh yeah, you gotta go check this out, there's this crazy cemetery, and we're thinking everyone's crazy, so it's like, screw it, we'll go, right? And then there was a Denny's over there, so after that we went to Denny's. So we jump in there, we jump the gate, and obviously you're not supposed to go in there, but we jump the gate, we get in there, and we had heard the stories, but we actually saw one of the stories, one of them, and then we had this other crazy experience. It was about a 10-year-old child kicking a ball through the cemetery. And we were there at 11 o'clock at night. There's no way a 10-year-old child was kicking a ball in the cemetery. And someone freaked out so much they actually ran into the gate and broke their nose pretty much. It was pretty ugly. But after that, we ran into, and Kevin, you've had some experiences with some haunting animals. A dog or some sort of a 4-legged animal was chasing us with these crazy eyes, and as we got over the gate, it wasn't there anymore. It just disappeared. So after that, we went into the Denny's and we ate really bad food, and which was great. It was fantastic for the time, and we didn't talk about this for about 6 months. None of us actually talked about what we experienced. So we all reconvened a little bit later, and we actually started talking about this, and it turns out that we all saw the same exact thing, and all the stories matched. There were 7 of us there, which is interesting. So that was really the first time I went, maybe there is something to this, and maybe I'll take this a little more seriously. So that's kind of my part, but whoever wants to go next.
Okay. So what really got me into this was, God, I think it was like 10 years ago now. I did a tour in Barnstable Village with Capers and Derek Bartlett. I did a private tour, and we're sitting in the oldest wooden jail in America in the dark, and it's just me and one other person and him, and Derek's sitting in a chair, couldn't see him. I had my digital camera, and he was like, take a picture, something's pulling on my sweatshirt. So I take a picture, nothing's there, so I take another picture, and I literally got a picture of something actually tugging his sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I couldn't explain it, like even zooming in and looking at it and trying to figure out if he moved or anything, and I like looked over this and I couldn't explain what pulled his sweatshirt.
That picture's still in the old jail. You can see it. It's actually like this.
Up on our Facebook page.
Is it up there too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see, I've always been interested in the paranormal ever since I was a lot younger than I am now, but there was just one certain thing that happened to me when I went to pick up my daughter after softball practice, and I had backed in for some reason, into the parking lot at the school, and I was sitting there reading the paper waiting for her to come out of the school, and my father had passed away like 1.5 years before, and for some reason I just dropped the paper down, and I looked across the softball field and saw a man in green fatigues and a white t-shirt. And he stood there for a minute and looked at me, and he waved and just disappeared off into the woods. And when I sat there, I thought about it, and I have the same exact picture of my father when he was in the Army. So that was my first real experience seeing something. So ever since then, I just was gung-ho. And I met Kerry, like I said before earlier, that I met him at work, and we started just talking about the paranormal and stuff. And we got on a team, and that was it. I was hooked. So
I'm going to let you all down. I haven't had one yet.
She's still a virgin.
I was going to say that. As a skeptic, I haven't had anything happen.
But you did.
Beat me to
But
it.
you did, but you won't.
Wow.
You won't
You
admit
think
it.
I have.
You won't
Yeah,
admit
well,
it.
You jumped.
I'll let you see the video.
Yeah.
I'll actually let you watch it. Yeah.
I've had a few. My first one was similar to Todd's. I grew up in Boston, and the golf course we used to hang out in the middle of at nighttime. It was like 6, 8 of us. I don't know. And we were hanging out, no drugs or anything. We were like 12, 13, something like that. Because at first we were like, what the heck? But anyways, we look at the first fairway, and we're in the middle one, and looking down, and it's wide open. And we could just, the best way to describe it, it looked like 20 wolves or something like that, just all translucent, just looked like Santa's reindeer, just like floating and running. We all just, some of us already started running, and we all just looked at each other like, I didn't know what to do, but we left, and we didn't go back in there for a while. And after that, same golf course, remember we were all laying out in a huge open fairway, and we heard what it sounded like, those huge Navy chains, like someone shaking it. And you know, that's impossible. They weighed God knows how many pounds. And yeah, we booked it out that night. And then one night, say about, geez, how long has my grandmother been dead? 10 years ago, I was in the kitchen one night in my old house in Dennisport. And late at night, it was like 2 in the morning, and I'm getting food. I'm in the far corner. I'm looking back in towards the, my cat. I almost forgot, I can't forget the cat. Got a cat, and it's rubbing up against nothing in the middle of the, and looking up at nothing. I'm like, that gave me the creeps. So I was like, what the hell's he rubbing up against? And then, like, I don't know, seconds later, I saw, looking towards the living room, my grandmother's feet. She died in the house. I was there with her last breath. And from here down, I knew it was hers. At first it freaked me out for a split second, but it was her little cankles and, you know, her slippers. And it was like 3 steps and gone. So, wow. I've had a couple more experiences that are decent ones. But.
Amazing. Well, it's about that time. So thank you, everybody. Right? We're getting close.
Yeah. One last
Any
question?
other pressing questions? One last question from the audience?
You know, we're going to do more episodes on that place, too, just to let you know, in case it wasn't mentioned. We still have a lot of evidence, awesome stuff from this place, amongst other places, but this place takes the cake so far. That's for sure.
Oh, we got to do the raffle, too.
Ah, the raffle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, let me grab the tickets.
Don't forget your microphone.
Yeah, I know.
What are we raffling off?
We're raffling off a membership to the Media Center.
All right.
And a T-shirt from us.
Very nice. A T&K Paranormal T-shirt and a Media Center membership.
I wasn't cracking my leg up.
So I just want to say thank you all for coming out. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the show. And once again, we could not have done this with the staff, without the staff here at the Media Center. They've been such a huge help. Sarah,
Big round of applause for Dave Dewees as well. Dave's in the control room, but he's been working his butt off on this show.
Oh, he deserves the prizes.
Okay, everybody grab your tickets.
What are we pulling for first? T-shirt or membership?
I don't know, whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. Do the T-shirt first?
Yeah, let's do the T-shirt first. Okay. 756-106. Oh, look at that! Our Wash Ashore Productions. You get the T-shirt.
Gosh, thank you so very much.
So, yeah. Just make sure
All right.
you look at our website.
Okay.
Pick a shirt. Tell us what size you want and which shirt.
Oh, I'm going to wear it with pride. Thank you so much.
And the next one is 756-100. Oh, look at that. There you go. Well, again, thank you everybody for coming. Congratulations to our raffle winners, and we hope to see you all back here at the Cape Cod Community Media Center.
Thank you.